My name is Tony Klock, and I'm a teacher in Voorhees, New Jersey. We're here at East Point Lighthouse. It attracts a lot of shorebirds which migrate up from the southern hemisphere. That is where the coast went out. The water has come in a lot closer to the lighthouse here, exposing a lot of these beaches to a lot of erosion. And these Delaware Bayshore beaches are critical for the horseshoe crab spawning, which of course supports a shorebird migration from the southern hemisphere all the way up to the Arctic. The shorebirds land here on the Delaware Bayshore beaches pretty much almost practically starving to death. The shorebirds are able to double their body weight. So literally, this is a stepping stone that these birds have along the way literally from Brazil to the Arctic. So if they don't get here in time, or the horseshoe crabs don't spawn, or the beaches are gone, the birds themselves will not make it to breed in the Arctic. Rising sea levels have caused extreme changes in habitat. The rising tides have really inundated the marshes. The marshes traditionally support rodents, lots of rodents that support like raptors. So we're seeing declines in raptor populations. The numbers of short-eared owls, the numbers of northern harriers particularly, have just dropped dramatically. Where we would see dozens of them in locations along the bayshore, now we're seeing a couple, one or two. So this area used to be a brackish pond. It's pretty salty right now. There used to be a lot of trees in there, provided habitat for barn owl. In the wintertime, we would get short-eared owls roosting in there, and also long-eared owls. The salt water has pretty much taken care of most of those trees and taken a lot of them down, so there are no more owls. We are at the Bayshore Center in Bivalve. Back in the day was the epicenter of the oyster industry along the East Coast, and particularly in New Jersey. The rising sea level is also impacting the habitats. Oysters thrive in a warm, more shallow area of the bay. When we have these areas where we're losing these habitat, the deeper waters, the natural oysters do struggle to survive. A lot of these species are dependent on each other, so when one of them drops out, all the other ones that are dependent on those species also drop out. As a teacher, I always try to emphasize the impact that one person can have. I think it's really important that each of us think in terms of what we can do in our own personal lives to try to make things a little bit better, which means each of us have to make decisions in our own lives that would impact the planet as a whole.